Deli with the sauce.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone all across the world. It's your boy Deli G, back with you here on the channel, back in the studio, back in the lab, and back behind the mic, which could only mean that it's time for another episode of the next show. Here we go. So, on this episode, things of nature to discuss will include the Ryan Ellis trade, because you all know that I'm a Flyers fan, and I can't go an episode without mentioning the Flyers trade for Ryan Ellis. Just NHL bits and bytes here. So, Tampa Bay, Canadiens, Fallout, the Seattle expansion draft, all that stuff. NBA Finals talk, of course. The newly crowned Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champions. Shout out to Giannis, he finally got one. The Space Jam movie, I saw it. Speaking of the NBA, I saw the Space Jam movie, and I'll let you guys know what I thought about it. Let's just leave it at that. Vlad Jr., my boy, killing it for my Toronto Blue Jays, All-Star, and had a huge home run at the All-Star game, and just lighting it up since he's been back from the All-Star game. So, yeah, man, we'll get into Vlad. Conor McGregor, excuse me. Lost the trilogy fight to Poirier, but I wasn't surprised at all. We'll get into a bit of that and what possibly might be next for the scrub. We'll see. All that and more. So stick around, guys, because here we go. All right, so the Ryan Ellis trade. I mentioned that off the top of the intro here. So honestly, as being a huge fan of the Flyers, having been a fan and still being a fan, unfortunately, nowadays, recently anyways, you know what, my whole take on that is that if as far as like Nolan Patrick, people might be upset about trading away Nolan Patrick, but he's been injured, inconsistent, and as far as I'm concerned, if you're not gonna make the Elias Pettersson pick with the draft pick that you had, then better did not have the pick at all. So that's how I see it. And then as far as Phil Myers, it looked like he was gonna come into his own as a defenseman, but we needed roster spots to open up. So he was just a casualty of the roster spots, and you can see even actually as we speak, Shane Gostisbehere traded. So there you go. We're going to free up roster spots to rebuild the defense, and getting Ryan Ellis is a very good start. Shane, it stinks actually, because I've got a little 2.5-inch figurine of his from Phillies. So that kind of stinks that I got that, and now he's gone. But I mean, it was just the writing was on the wall. It was inevitable. But I like these moves that Fletcher's made in getting Ryan Ellis, a stud right shot defenseman who's gritty. He can play hurt. He can play big minutes. He's going to be able to stabilize Provorov and show him some of the tools of trade and whatnot, if that is ultimately the pairing that they decide to go with. But yeah, man, I just think it's a coup for Philly, man, and Philly fans should be excited about that trade. I'm excited. I know Phil Myers is kind of a bigger body and maybe a heavier shot, but Ellis is still a lot faster, better skater. Like I said, grittier. He'll go to war. He'll run through a brick wall for you. So I like Phil Myers personally, but when you're talking about a missed pick by the previous regime, and then you ended up with an injury-riddled, inconsistent young forward, and then you have Phil Myers, an undrafted free agent. I guess we had to throw in a couple of draft picks too in order for them to take it. I think it was like a second and a seventh. But I mean, I guess other than draft picks, you have a misguided draft pick and an undrafted free agent basically traded for Ryan Ellis, a proven, number 2 defenseman. I think that's pretty good. I think I'll take that. So I'm happy and I'm excited, and I can't wait. I can't wait till the season starts to see how everything unfolds. So next up, staying with the NHL, shout out to Tampa Bay, of course. Gotta give them their flowers on being back-to-back champs. So good for them. And the Habs, man, you got to give a shout out to the Habs too, man, because nobody expected the Habs to go as far as they got. And there they were, right in the thick of things. And I knew it was going to be a David versus Goliath type of battle, but I also knew that it wasn't going to be a sweep, man. Like, come on, that Canadians team is well coached, and they have a lot of character guys there. So I knew they would have, at least been able to win one game. And now that all the injury news and everything is coming out, you see guys were like playing hurt as well. So that's another thing you got to take into consideration as well. The Seattle expansion draft, man. Here I am thinking that Seattle's going to take one of Jake Voracek or James Van Riemsdyk and relieve us of some of their awful salary. But no, they take Carson Tokarski, a relative nobody, but somebody who was cheap on the Flyers. So now we're stuck. Well, I guess I shouldn't say we're stuck with them, because I know Chuck is going to find a way to trade them out of town. But for now, we got to find a nice creative way to get rid of Jake and or James Van Riemsdyk, hopefully both, and Claude Giroux, and we can start completely fresh anew. So yeah, I mean, it looks like from what I've seen of Seattle, it looks like they're gonna have decent goaltending and a very, very good defense. So, if they're gonna build around the defense and the goaltending, I like their chances for sure to be a perennial playoff team. All right, guys, moving on. NBA Finals. It was such a crazy, dramatic NBA Finals leading up. I mean, we didn't know if Giannis was even going to play in Game 1, and then he comes back, and then he has an unreal, outstanding Finals performance, capping it off with a Game 6 50-point dominance beatdown, basically, of DeAndre Ayton. And yeah, man, now, I mean, good on Milwaukee, and it appears that the Phoenix Suns are going to be looking for answers, man. They're going to be searching for answers after this. I mean, you get up to a 2-0 lead, and then basically you get swept after that. You lose 4 straight games. I mean, that's not good. That's not good at all. So they're going to have to do some tinkering. I'm sure they were, you got to be impressed with the play of the bench, and or I guess what bench they had left by the time they limped into the finals. You got to be impressed with Devin Booker, of course. He stepped up. CP3, I don't know if he was injured near the end or what, but, he basically led him the whole way and just kind of like flubbed in the finals a little bit. But yeah, I mean, as far as DeAndre Ayton, man, one thing that he's got to do this offseason is get in the gym, man. Get in the gym and put on a few pounds, bro. Because you're going to need to, like, if you think Giannis was tough, just wait, man. Just wait till Zion starts hitting the gym. And he's going to get all, like, crazy jacked. So, don't mess around, DeAndre. Don't mess around. Like, hit the gym, get stronger so you can deal with the likes of, the Giannis's of the world and Zion's of the world and Joel Embiid's of the world. Because, man, if you don't do something to, like, get your strength up, man, those guys are going to ragdoll you, man. Just like Giannis did all finals long, bro. All day, all night. So, yeah, man, it was a good, entertaining finals, because the thing is, like, it's always entertaining when you have parity, okay? Parity. That's why nobody likes the New England Patriots, because they always win, and they're always in AFC championship games. So now, it's a new era, both hopefully in basketball and in football, where it's the era of parity. Minus, I guess, the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're just, Patrick Mahomes is next level-ish, so... So staying with the NBA and basketball, sort of. I just want to give you guys a bit of my reactions to the Space Jam movie. I actually I didn't go see it in theaters because looking back at it now, I'm actually glad that I didn't. But anyways, yeah. So when checked it out, just like through HBO Max or other means on television, but we'll say HBO Max so I don't get sued. So HBO Max, yeah. So just basically ended up watching it on the TV and not in the theater, and I'm glad I didn't pay to see it in the theater because for a movie called, if you're gonna call a movie Space Jam, maybe you should make it at the very least somewhat have some sort of like outer space, like you know outer space like storyline, something like that, which this movie doesn't have. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody out there who's watching this and hadn't seen it yet, but yeah, man, it's just a very intriguing and very out there plot, I'll say. So just go check it out, and then let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Hit me up. All right, so next up is one gentleman we're going to talk about by the name of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's my dog, who is not only playing for my baseball team, the Blue Jays, but is also from the Dominican Republic. And you all know, if you've been watching my show already, that I always going to give love and shout out to the prominent Dominican players, such as Vlad Jr. and Fernando Tatis Jr. And it's funny too, because like I was talking with my dad, and we were having a conversation about Tatis, and he's like, his father, Tatis Senior, like he was kind of like a journeyman, like role player most of his career. Like he was known for like one big hit that he had in the majors with the Pirates or something. I think it might have been, and that's it. And other than that, he's basically just a journeyman role player. Now his son is like killing it. It's like, wow, that's kind of a far cry from Vlad Jr. Whose dad was basically an all-time legendary status player. So especially with Montreal is what is going to be recognized more. But he won titles with LA, so I think he went to the Hall of Fame as an LA Angel. So, which kind of sucks. It would have been nice for him to go in as an Expo, but whatever. Yeah, so Vlad Jr. just killing it, man. Just keep on doing what you do, bro. Just fucking metele sazon. But you gotta make the playoffs too. You gotta make the playoffs. Yeah. Next up, I don't know if I'm gonna have time for this, and go figure. I don't really need to spend too much time on this, but Conor McGregor, man, what can you say, man? Is it a bad break, or is it karma for talking shit about the man's wife and everything? So I don't know, man. Which one is it? Okay, seems to me that it looks like we're running out of film a little bit, so I got to tie everything up with a pretty bow. Okay, guys, so who knows what's going to happen to Conor McGregor? I said he's got three options now: either retire, WWE, or fight Jake Paul. Other than that, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know what your chances are going to be in the UFC. Other than that, guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm out, and this has been another episode of The Next Show. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for my videos, and stay tuned for more. All right, guys, that's it for me. Peace out. I'm done.